Hello everyone, I am Astrologer Abhishek and today's question is, how is astrology different with science? So astrology is not at all different with science, and rather I would say it is the most successful or most scientific contemplation or understanding of the universe, of the nature, or how the things work till now the mankind has understood or discovered. And it would be shocking to hear, but it is more scientific than the current science. The current science still believes that the day you were born was just a mere accident. The things happen, everything is just, most of the things, the science has no explanation. It will just say it's an accident or it's just by chance. And I would say, what rubbish. If you're talking in terms of science, then how can you say it's just an accident? Nothing is an accident. In astrology, it is the foundation of the things that we consider nothing. Even a leaf is falling from the tree, it is not an accident. Nothing here is by chance. And that is how the science works. There has to be a logic behind the things. Everything is logical, then only you can say it's a scientific phenomena. If the things are happening and we don't know why it is happening, then how can you say you are scientific? But still, if you will go into astrology, you will read the books, you will get a thought that it is not so scientific. And the reason behind that is, see, this science was discovered thousands of years back. If I would talk about the Indian astrology, which I know, which I have studied, it has been studied like thousands of years back. And at that time, the people who used to study these, they use simple stories to give an explanation of the things. Like, I'll mention a very simple story. Like, there's a constellation called the Great Bear, or it's also called Saptrishi, the seven sages. And among those seven stars, one of the star is the first one of the seven great, the Great Bear, the constellation called the Great Bear. One of the stars is, in India we call it Marichi. So that is a sage. There's a story that Marichi is a sage, and he gives birth to Aditya. Aditya then gives birth to Sun. So we can say Sun's grandfather is Marichi. And this story, once you hear and you are like, what rubbish, I mean, Sun is a star, how it could be it could be a son of some other star, and what is this? But now science has confirmed that that star Marichi is exactly like Sun. The way it is exploding, or the way we get light from that star Marichi is same way we get light from Sun. The combustion process is same. Like, the two hydrogen atoms, they fuse, and the helium gets formed, and in that process there is explosion, and we get the energy, like you get the sunlight. So the same process that star is happening, the same process is happening in that star. And the size of that star is way much larger than Sun. So in a way, it can be said that Sun is the grandchild of that star. So they have created a number of stories to give an understanding, or how the things, like how that particular nakshatra will work, or what is the nature of that nakshatra. They have created a lot of stories. And we could also like currently we could also do in terms of equations. These things could be done, like if you have to understand any nakshatra and all, there's no need of these stories. We can understand in terms of equations, mathematical equations, like. But at those times, mathematics was not so advanced, and people were not so I would say the current education system was not followed at that time. They used to understand things in a very different manner, so they created the stories. But the things are same, the results are same. Now, if the current education system, we understand things by equations and all, we can create equations. There's no big deal. If there are people who comes up, like who are really, who can give their life. It requires like a group of people who are passionate about astrology, and they devote their whole life, because though at those time people have devoted their whole lives in astrology, and what we have today is just the conclusions. So according to today's need, we can create, we can mold everything in terms of equations and all the scientific things. So that can be done, but end result is same. So that's the thing.